November after Thanksgiving. Bruce and I were sitting in the living room enjoying a fire and some wine and decided to talk about our future. We decided that we'd really like to do a crazy thing called the Loop. So we bought plane tickets to go to Fort Myers Beach, to go to Loopapalooza, and we looked at about a dozen boats while we were down in Fort Myers, and came back home, discussed it for a while, and decided that we were going to actually do this. We decided on Inspiration. She was the second boat that we saw, and she made a very good impression on us. She was clean and for the most part ready to go. She wasn't going to need a whole lot of work to get her in the water. So Bruce arranged for a sea trial and a survey and checked her out. We got our list of things that we would need to do and decided to buy her. So after that decision was made, we figured out how we're going to have to sell the house. So I went, cleaned and painted and sorted and junked and sold everything I could to get the house on the market and prepare for our new life. House was listed by May of 2019, and we had her sold probably by June, I believe it was. In the meantime, Bruce was going down to Florida, southern Florida, we moved Inspiration from Cape Coral, Florida, to go to Glades Boat Yard where Bruce could start doing some work on her. And it was fun to go down there and start preparing for our new life. We spent the night at the Glades Boat Yard in our dock and had her hauled out early in the morning and got ready for the next adventure. The things that Bruce would have to do was to sand down her hull to get rid of some blisters that were in the fiberglass and repaint her hull. There was I don't know how he managed to do this in this heat in southern Florida in the late spring and summer, but somehow he managed to do it. He got her all sanded down and she was really looking very nice by the time we got into the boat. She was beautiful. He did a great job. We also had to have her mast removed so that the base of her mast, the step, could be replaced as it was rusty. And some of the standing rigging also needed to be replaced. So we had our rigger come and replace the step and also replaced some of the rigging, most of the standing rigging on the boat. Thank you, Anthony from Onboard Rigging. Did a great job. And there he is, up the mast. There was always storms every day. In the afternoon, Bruce would have to work around lots of rain. So storms would roll in and roll out. And there's her beautiful finished hull after Bruce painted and polished her. The funny thing about the Glades Boat Yard is that it's in the middle of some farmland and there's always cows all around the boat yard. You have to drive through the farmers' fields to get to the boat yard. And they're so cute. Kind of scary, but cute. They would always crowd around the gates to the boat yard, so you'd have to drive through them. And they actually are waiting in the Caloosahatchee where the alligators swim. The hard part was saying goodbye to everybody. We'd spent the last 40 years in Illinois. We knew a lot of people, have a lot of family there, and it was sad to say goodbye to everybody. We go back often, but it's still hard to say goodbye, especially to the kids and grandkids. we did have a lot of fun times before we left. It was nice because I was done working and could just goof off. Next step was putting the dogs in the car and getting ready for the long trip down to southern Florida and moving all of our stuff onto the boat. Here's the initial tour of me going through all of our belongings
Kitchen sink is full of some
and loading it on the boat.
And these are the dishes that were up in the cabinet that I just cleaned out, that I need to sort and throw some out because I can't fit them all. So paper plates, stuff that Bruce had left over. Can't see the refrigerator, but it's underneath all of this stuff here. Very deep refrigerators, which we're very thankful for. This is the nav station where Bruce will do all of his great navigating from and planning. So that's exciting. And I'm going to turn that off because it's hotter than hell in here. And then as you look from the back of the boat down the steps, you can see the size of the living area that we will be living in. There's my shelves for my dishes. As I come in, there's storage area on the left and all of the stuff that I am going through. Portable air conditioner, because we're on land, we can't run our regular air conditioner. And it's really not keeping up, as you can tell from the amount of sweat on me. See, I'm glowing. I never sweat like this. And then we go to the back of the boat. Actually, it's the forward part of the boat. You can see what I'm dealing with here. This is the bathroom that is filled with cushions and supplies and surplus items that Bruce threw in here until I could get down here to help organize. Not a pretty picture. So then we go forward. This is our bed, which doesn't look very awesome right now. Luckily, we're staying in a hotel right now, because it is full of crap. And it is a disaster area. And I don't know how we're going to get through all this, but we will. We will. Luxury suite right there.